Alright, so here's what's going on today. If you're like me, and you've ever tried to cut one of these acrylic drop-in light tiles, you know it's a terrible job. They splinter, they crack, it's impossible to do, you can't cut them with a knife, can't do anything like that. So after a little bit of trial and error, I figured out a way to do it. We're going to be cutting, I've got about 20 of these I got to cut. And this is like the easiest way I found I can do it without making a big mess or anything. So what I did is I got a hot knife. This is for cutting foam, okay, so like for cutting foam insulation and stuff like that. And it cuts this stuff pretty decent, and it's pretty cool. It goes through it pretty well. Let me see. I've got it heating up right now. You got to keep your finger on the trigger to keep it heating up. And I'm going to see if I can make it. It might not be hot enough yet. I've only had my finger on it for a second. Let me see. Just a second. Any minute now. It'll be fine. Okay, it's starting to cut through it there. Let's see. There it goes. It's not by any means a quick process. It'll be quicker in a second because it's just now heating up. But you can see now, take it and it'll cut through there. And boom, like that. And it comes apart like that. So the tip is like the hottest part like this. So what I figured out to try and do to save a little time is if you kind of can go from the top and push away from you and keep it flat, seems to work pretty decent. It's got a couple of different, like 5 different heat settings. I did a few panels on the highest one, and I ended up burning up that particular unit. Plus, it seemed to make a lot of like fume burn off. I've got it clicked back to like number 4 instead of 5, and we're going to start going. And go get a sandwich. I've already done the shortcut. This is the long one. Yeah. So, yeah, see there, we've got about an inch of it cut. I figured out it takes probably about, I think it's 4 minutes to do the shortcut, because of course these panels don't come in the size of the actual drop-in fixtures. The panels are cut 47 3/4 by 23 3/4 or something like that. And the actual size of the drop-in is 22 by 46 1/2 or something like that. So yeah, so you got to cut them. Here we go. Now every now and then you get it just right, and it'll start cutting through real good. Hear that, or it's just now at its good hot spot. But I've seen dudes cut them with like circular saws, and it just makes a mess. And he seems like you got to go just about as slow anyway. But like today, it's like 4 degrees outside. So rather than standing outside working on stuff, I'm going to cut this, and then I'll be back in a minute. Alright, we're just about done. Just got a little bit more to go on this one. And then, almost. So it's been, I don't know, probably, I think it takes 4 to 5 minutes for the short side. Probably 8, 9 minutes. So I figure it takes about 15 minutes to do each panel, which is cool if you only got to do 1 or 2. I've got to do 20. I got a little gnarly at the end, but so there you go. That's done. You can see it just melts the edge, you know. So there's nothing sharp, nothing will cut you, nothing will stick you. $25 for the gun at Menards. The first time I did it, I had it set on the high setting, and I did a panel. It took me like 15 minutes, and then I stopped and I let the gun cool down for a second, or for about 10 minutes or so. Then I come up and I did another panel, let the gun rest for a minute, and then when I did the third panel, I thought I'd get a little cocky and just go right into the fourth panel, and about halfway through the fourth panel, the gun burned up. So I just returned it, went back to Menards, returned it. They gave me another one, and now pretty much the lesson is you can do 2 panels an hour, because you got to go, take say 15 minutes to do a panel, and then you got to let it cool down for 10 or 15 minutes, and then you heat it back up and you do another panel. So if you've only got to do 1 or 2, that's cool. Like I said, I've got to do a bunch of them, so this is going to be like a cold day project for the next couple of days, and then we'll get them all cut and put them in where they got to go. So yeah, that's the story. Thanks.